So to help break all of this down and a whole lot more, we're going to welcome in CEO of Geltrude Business Technology Solutions, Michael Geltrude. Michael, so happy to have you back. Okay, so with this round of payments, the administration will have forgiven the loans of nearly 5 million borrowers. This is my least favorite topic. My goodness, Michael, what ramifications do, forgiving all of these loans, what could that have? Because there's no such thing as a free lunch. This money has to come from somewhere.
Yeah, I think the only solution here, unfortunately, is that taxes are going to go up for everybody. When you have these expenses related to student loans, someone has to pay for them. And I think a lot of people will say, tax the rich, tax the rich. But ultimately, somebody has to pay for it. It's really an unfortunate thing. I don't think it's fair because all of these students went into this knowing that they were going to take on student debt. So you really have to live with the consequences of your actions. And I don't think it's the right thing to raise taxes, but I think that's how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I don't think that the average American should have to pay for someone's, gender studies degree. You have to be fiscally responsible when you take out these loans. And again, I've seen interviews with these kids at these colleges, and they ask, who's going to pay for all of this? And they say, well, the taxpayers. They do not care. Money they think it's just fallen from the sky. Again, this is absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's move on a little bit. So some massive news from yesterday. Klaus Schwab announcing he will no longer be serving as the head chair of the World Economic Forum. Schwab backing away from the organization, which has been at the forefront of alleged controversies for its promotion of things like eating bugs and for what it calls the Great Reset, after serving as its head for over 50 years. Okay, so the forum is now saying that Schwab's retirement is part of a, quote, planned governance evolution, which would transfer power from being founder managed to being run by a president and a board. All right, Michael, this is pretty big news. What do you think this shift will entail for the WEF?
I think we're going to see a major shakeup here. When you've had someone in power for over 50 years, someone who's literally been in power since Jimmy Carter has been president, a lot of things have changed and we're going to see a shakeup. Right now, I'm really focused on who are they going to pick as their successor. I would love for them to look outside, specifically in the technology sector. We're seeing things move at literally the speed of light between AI and cryptocurrencies. Someone really needs to understand all of these evolutions related to technology to be a suitable replacement for Klaus. He's done a lot of great work, but he's been there a long time. And I think I'm going to leave you with 2 words: term limits.
Yeah. Oh, and term limits in a lot of different sectors. I think that a lot of people are maybe happy with the news that Schwab is stepping aside. But again, we're going to have to look forward and see who is going to be his replacement and what the board will entail. Okay, so Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is calling on the European Union to join forces with the United States to combat China economically. Yellen arguing the countries need to act in a united way to impose tariffs and fight against cheap CCP imports. China has managed to undercut both the EU and the United States when it comes to manufacturing green energy, including wind and solar production. We've really seen the EVs with some serious competition from China. Michael, do you see an American-European coalition forming?
The short answer is yes, and the longer answer is they simply have no choice. China's prices now are so low because they're being subsidized by their government. Ultimately, the U.S. and the EU have to come together here. Otherwise, it's going to have real ramifications on their local economies. I just don't see any other way, right? Like when prices are low, consumers are going to go there. So why are we sending all of this money abroad and when I say abroad, I mean to China specifically. But why not keep our money in the United States and for the European Union to keep it there as well? I think it will create more jobs and help everyone there as well.
Yeah, fantastic point to end on, Michael. Michael Geltrude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate having you on.
Thank you.